Okay, so I found out what the republic actually means. Republic means sort of power to the people without any sort of super, superiority, whatever the word is, super authority uh, or or superpower or monarch. And yeah, I've been seeing a lot of One Republic's songs. They've been popping up, and I think I might have like touched on talking about them, but I never actually gave them a name. Now that I know what Republic actually means, it's basically like a world without God. I think that is pretty much their name. I think when it comes to all the male names, I've been inspired by what they've chosen to call themselves. And yeah, I felt like that really helped in naming them. But I feel like my higher self has probably got you to name them for certain reasons. But yeah, I feel like I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like I predict that the Republican Party might actually win. Donald Trump might win, and I don't, you know, I was definitely more on the other side, but I have no idea who's running, and I have no idea like what's going on with that side. And I don't follow politics. I never do, never have. I feel like the people should decide. But yeah, if there's going to be a sort of a calamity coming where people kind of reject me, push me aside, and where the angels take over, it would probably be better if the Republic side take it. Why? Because the Republic side is the side that I want to destroy most, because it basically means without monarch or superpower. And technically, God is a superpower, Christ is a monarch, and therefore anyone who claims to like God and Christ and yet are on the Republic, they're kind of against God and Christ. And I think because what's going to happen probably in the next 3.5 years is going to be against me, and God, because I am God. I feel like for that reason, maybe the Republic, because I feel like the Democrats is as a party that's, it's all about democracy, and therefore it doesn't actually say much other than we'll, come up with choices and give the public the choice and decide. So I am more on that side, and I think their candidates have been a bit smarter. But yeah, because we're going into a time of trouble, it'd probably be better to have the Republican side, because if they are against God, it would be fine to kind of like, I want to trample on the Republican Party, because I've heard not much, but the few things that I have heard, I've not been supportive of. I'm definitely in favor of abortion, and that's probably the thing that's most killing the planet. People having too many kids, and for every child you have, there's a whole life of waste that person's going to live, and it's causing, so to be against that is kind of against me. But I feel like there's a lot of fakery in the media. Like, I feel like they might be having all these laws that, they might have banned transgender where men wearing women's clothing. They might have banned it, but have they actually banned it, or is this just something that, are they actually going to enforce on it? I think there's a couple of times where I've seen laws where they're supposed to be laws and yet no one ever enforces them. So just because a law is in place doesn't mean it has to be enforced. And maybe that is how it is with abortions. If people want abortions, it's technically illegal, but maybe there is a bunch of stuff in the hospitals that are like, oh no, we've got a charity that can help you. Here you go. I don't really know what's going on. I feel like there's so much fakery and so many lies in the media that I don't know what to trust. Hence, I don't want to say too much, because I might be wrong, and it might just be a fake thing. But yeah, I think One Republic, I would call them the angels of the Republic, and the negative name would be angels of people who don't want Christ or God, something like that. And I really want to get onto Big Brother. Still heard nothing, and yeah, I feel like if they were wanting to put me on Saturday, because I found this Casey girl yesterday, and yeah, there's some interesting songs in there. I don't like her darker songs. I don't know why she did it. I would love to know what she was thinking. Did she know about me? Did maybe there was supposed to be some sort of sacrifice that people, that's the people who knew about me were planning. Um, but maybe I don't know. I have no clue. But I know that song was done a long time ago. after. I'm sure it was after I was exposed, but I don't know what they know, what they knew, or why they did what they did. I'd love to know this. I've never got my answers. It's very, very annoying. But I know my higher self knows the answers, and I know that if you want to lie to me about it, you might be okay to lie in the first few months, but that you can't lie forever. The truth will be known. And but yeah, I I I I think it was good that I once this they usually put, I think I've read somewhere that the housemates have all gone into hiding already, and because I haven't heard from them, well, people might say that's a sign that I'm not going to be on, but technically I'm God. It's very important that I have the internet, because I wouldn't have, if I would have been in hiding without internet yesterday, I wouldn't have been able to find Cassie's songs. And today I wouldn't have probably named the One Republic, and I have actually named them now. So, or in the process of naming them. I was listening to the songs in the spa, but it was a bit noisy, so I couldn't hear the words. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I know that there's a Michael Jackson song. That Thriller one that says something's gonna happen on Wednesday. Um, but yeah, I know Jesus is supposed to like go up to the Father on the Friday, um, and so maybe I'm told on the Wednesday, and then I leave on the Friday, and but I don't know, because they usually like expose pictures of the house soon, and but technically if I know what the house looks like before I go in, does that really matter? I mean, we've got a whole huge amount of, I think it's important that I don't know what people are saying about me, because it's going to be offensive, and I don't really want that kind of, I don't want that, I don't want to know that really. So, but yeah, until people know who I am, they can't actually say anything bad about me. So is it really important that I go into the house like really early before, or go into hiding before? I don't know. I don't know. I want to know what's going to happen. And I know that if they don't put me on this show, I'm going to be very angry. Although I also noticed, I also know that Ryland's not involved in this. But then I feel like there's two shows, and maybe you're just getting him involved in the second show because you're trying to separate, make it look like it's two different groups of people that are sort of unrelated. Um, if you had the same presenters, it might look like it's the same show, and it needs to look like two different shows run by two different people. Um, if the UK one has rejected Rylan, well, the American one can take him up or whatever. Um, and that would look like there's two separate companies. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm getting annoyed because it's like I still haven't heard anything. But then again, technically, if I had have heard something today, I wouldn't have been able to go on the internet. And if I hadn't gone onto the internet, I wouldn't have talked about Cassie, or I wouldn't have been talking about the Republic. So I also see the importance of waiting till the last minute. Um, is that last minute Wednesday or Friday or Saturday? I don't know, but I would want more than an hour to pack. I would want a couple of hours at least to pack. But